I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
This is a matchup for the ages. Body cuts a path straight to the paint, and she serves up a slam dunk. Oh, Body may have the win, but Frank really got the W on that play. That's gotta hurt.
Everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic post-game show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson. Chelsea Poppens will be joining me in the studio to talk about Iowa State's fun win against Cincinnati tonight. But before we break it down, let's thank our sponsors as always, starting off with our title sponsor for both the men's and women's shows. We've got our friends over at Channel Seed. Great people, great Iowa State fans, really happy to have them on board. And then our friends, of course, over at Fairway Meat and Grocery. Grab your produce, grab your meat, anything and everything. They've got you covered. And now let's break down some Iowa State Cincinnati for you. First of all, Chelsea, happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Shout out you.
Yeah.
Shout out you. But anyway, what a great way to celebrate with a big Iowa State win. Very exciting. What are your initial thoughts right after this game?
I mean, happy for a win. Happy for a win.
Let's put that on the table first. Happy for a win.
Really happy for a win. Really, really incredibly happy. But I mean, it was good. I think it went as well as it could. I mean, you're looking at like the stats of like forcing Reagan Jackson to make some threes. That was probably a part of the game plan. And Jillian Hayes was one of their strongest scorers on the team, so you expected her to get double digits. So I think we held them to a pretty fair score, and it was a comfortable lead the entire game. It was nice to see other players, a well-balanced offensive threat from everybody else. Kelsey Jones, incredible energy. Ariana Jackson, 4 for 8 from the three-pointer. Like, we need that from her every single game. And it just sucks that you can see like Audie Crooks is like, she's milking, like she's got her knee injury, and then Emily Ryan with that ankle injury that she was like trying to get through the game. So, and then Sydney Harris being out with sickness, like even without, not at full strength, we were able to pull this off. So that was really good. Happy to see it.
It looked really great. And even like Addie Brown putting up 9 points, which isn't usual for her. Usually she's scoring a lot more. I mean, she's got 7 assists and 13 rebounds. So people are really helping out. It did seem like a team win for sure, which is really nice. And kind of talk about a little bit more on Kelsey. I've always been a huge fan of her. I think she just brings this incredible energy, and even like the announcers were really pumped to see her like in her effort. But talk about her and her impact tonight on the game.
I think she always comes in with incredible energy. She's a spitfire. She's going after rebounds. She's going after.
Did she just leave me? She'll come back up. There you are. I was like, did she just leave me? You were that passionate about Kelsey, you had to just exit for a second and take a deep breath.
Technical difficulties on my end. But no, she has such incredible energy. She's one of my favorites just because she's willing to do the gritty stuff, and she always comes with she may not like score as much as we would like, but she's always doing other things, diving on the ball, defense, rebounds, like high energy things that are going to translate and affect everybody else that's out there.
So I would say obviously won 72-52. What can they take from this game and hopefully keep the momentum going into Saturday against Colorado?
Hopefully they just take the confidence that they can score. Like with AJ, 4 for 8, hopefully AJ is going to pop some threes and come out with the energy that we talked about that they needed to come out with. Like we don't need another TCU game where they come out 13-2 in the first 3 minutes. That energy is key, and Sydney Harris will be back. So that's just a little more depth to the bench and being able to have more bodies. And I think it's just a confidence booster. And right now we're talking about the inconsistency of games and people showing up as an offensive threat, and that's a problem. So I think once we finally find that rhythm and are able to have a well-balanced scoring threat from this game to next game to the following games, that will be a good safe space, a good way for us to be able to play consistently.
Every time it seems Iowa State comes out with a good start, a quick start, scoring a lot more, seems like they end up having a good game. But with the inconsistencies of how each player is playing, does it ever affect you, speaking from your experience, having to change a lineup consistently? It seems like there's multiple different starting lineups with Iowa State. I mean, you have your usual suspects, Addie, Audie, and Emily. But those, 2 other players have been switching out, whether injury, sickness, scoring. Well, in your opinion, does that kind of mess with a team a little bit or no?
No, I mean, you still have the foundational players that are going to be going in every single time. And I think they're at this point, they're used to the adapting roster and not always knowing who's going to be starting. And so I think it's nothing but opportunity. I think they realize that one of them has to step up in order to earn that spot. And honestly, if I'm a player that is on the bench sometimes and sometimes gets to start, I'm excited that there is potential and opportunity for me to start if I step up and if I elevate my game and do things good and consistently. And then that's just opportunity for me to have more minutes and me to get in more. And so I think if they have that kind of mentality and they don't see it as a weakness, that's going to be better for the whole team.
Said it perfectly. Also, this is such a random side note, but I heard them talking about it. Have you ever had Skyline chili?
No, they were talking about that. I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
I've heard about Skyline chili. Apparently it is just a big thing in Cincinnati. I feel like Aiden is kind of giggling, but right now I've never had it, but I saw an ice cream flavor, like you said, and then it's super popular. So I just
don't imagine playing a game and then just being you know what I really want right now after I'm all sweaty and hot, chili. Give me some good beans so I can hop on the plane and go home and really feel good about myself. I don't think that's the mentality.
When you put it like that, it sounds horrible.
In perspective, guys.
I feel like it's more of maybe a Coach Finley thing. Maybe he's feeling like he needs some Skyline chili. I'm
sure he was also just getting brownie points with the broadcasters to give something to talk about.
1000%. I didn't mean to end our show on a Skyline chili.
No, I will say though,
it was killing me.
Ann O'Neill being brought on for the Women and Girls in Sports Day, but I was like, why are the ESPN hosts, at least not one of them, a woman? They're like, yeah, happy National Women's in Sports and Girls, and we're gonna bring a woman on to talk, but we're not.
Hey,
I was like, come on.
You have a good point. Because women rock, women in sports rock, and go Iowa State. So Chelsea, thanks for joining tonight. Thanks for all your input, especially your input on Skyline chili. I loved it.
Go get yourself a bowl.
Thanks to our sponsors, Channel Seed, Fairway, and thanks to Aiden for producing. Tune back in as Iowa State takes on Colorado on Saturday, February 8th at 5 p.m.